Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. With me, I have Jeremiah Aaron out of Pearland. Just transferred in not too long ago, I believe, from Louisiana. And the one thing about his film that is kind of mind blowing to me is how smooth he runs. His acceleration and everything, it's there, but it's incredibly smooth. You don't ever see him change off of his stride or anything, and it's hard to tell how fast he's actually going, but the dude is flying down the field. And it's really neat to see because I don't see that many people run as smooth as he does. In fact, in the film right there, he just chased somebody down and looked like he was matching him stride for stride, but he's faster than the dude. So I just really like that about his film. And then, of course, he goes up. He's not afraid to high point the ball over the middle. He does that several times from his film last year. I mean, extremely mobile when he gets in the open field, make people miss all day, and it's just fun as can be to watch. So, Jeremiah, man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you?
Doing great. Glad to have you here. Let's just hop straight into it. What were some of the things that you did over this past off season to prepare yourself for the season?
I trained a lot. Like I went to Dallas to Coach Hooks. I trained with him a little. I trained with my coach from out of Frisco. I just worked on the small things. High point the ball, route running, and being just to be able to run the route and not change my direction like how I'm running. So
That is another thing that's extremely good about your film and everything that you bring to the table is your route running along, just with your running in general. Like I said, how smooth it is. Your route running is extremely smooth. I mean, you go through, you hit your cuts, you do what needs to be done, and it's just fun to watch. It's incredibly fun to watch. I thoroughly enjoy it. Just how I keep saying the word smooth, but there's not really any other way to
yeah,
describe it. I mean,
yeah.
that's just the way that it is. But take me through some of your training, what that was like over the summer.
We did more like footwork stuff, like um, like with Coach Hooks, we did like break going and like going full speed and stopping on a dime. We did a lot of agility with my coach from out of Frisco. And sometimes I work by myself, and I just working on the small things, just trying to better my route running, make sure I stay under control on every route running that I do. And yeah, that's like the main thing that I work on. Yeah,
Of course, I mean, all the improvements. I mean, just from the last game's film that you had that we showed at the start of this to what we're watching now from last year. There's just in one game you can already see there's a little bit of difference in your film and some of
yeah,
the things that you can do. So all the training and all the work that you put in over the summer is definitely paying off, and it's definitely starting to show. Outside of doing the training like that, did you go to any of the camps? Did you like any of the Under Armour camps or school camps, anything like that?
yeah. During school last semester, I went to the Under Armour, the opening and the rivals. I went to those three camps first, and then like as school started ending, I started going to a couple of college camps. Camps. It wasn't a lot, but it was. I went to like 4 or 5 maybe, yeah, this past summer. So yeah,
What were those college camps that you went to?
Baylor, TCU, Houston, ULL, and the satellite camp that's in Baton Rouge that all the Louisiana colleges host.
So you got around quite a bit this summer between
Yeah, I did.
working with coaches and then college camps all over the place. I mean, you put in a ton of work this summer to get out there and do a little bit. But that's another thing that I actually want to bring up real quick because that just happened on your film. Your downfield blocking is another thing. It's incredibly underrated for wide receivers and their blocking ability, you do an outstanding job with your downfield blocking. I love seeing that in the highlights because it shows that you're not just a one-trick pony. You'll get the job done for the team as a whole. So that's one other thing that I do like to point out for wide receivers or running backs, anybody that goes down there and likes to help the team out and put their body on the line like that. It's great to see. So back on topic, real quick. You hit those camps up. Did you go on any of the visits while you were on camp, or did you visit any other schools?
No, not really. ULL, I went on a visit. That's probably like the only school I went on a visit. ULL. Most of them I just went there.
All right, and you, according to your 247 page, you've got a couple of offers right now that it shows. It looks like ULL and Northwestern State is in there. So are those the only two that you have right now?
I had one from Lamar.
All right, so you did pick up another offer on there. What other schools have been in contact with you recently, whether showing interest or like heavy interest, any kind of interest in you? What other schools have been in contact with you and talking to you?
Currently, Baylor, UH, A&M, ULL, NSU, UT a little, and Virginia Tech.
Those are some major schools that you listed in there, is with Baylor, A&M, UH, and Virginia Tech, just right there. So your name's getting out there, and Brandon, I believe, told me that the first time that you touched the ball this season, you returned a punt for a touchdown. Yeah, that's a quick way to get your name out there.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
What are some of your goals for this upcoming season?
Honestly, to break Pearland receiving yards, and to win state.
What's the Pearland record?
If I'm not mistaken, it's like 2,000.
That's a pretty lofty goal, but I like to hear it that's what you're driving for. So, what'd you get in the first game? I didn't see any individual stats on that.
Stats, I had like 60 yards for one reception. Wasn't too much of a good game, but there's plenty more to come. So,
hey, you got a whole season to get out there and do some work. So everything that I've seen on your Louisiana film, you can transition that over to the Texas film. I mean, you're gonna tear it up out there. So, hey, that's great that you have such a lofty goal like that. It's always good to have your eyes set as high as you can go. One thing, I love asking this question for everybody. If anybody could offer you, who would it be and why?
I got to go with Alabama.
Is it the obvious choice of Nick Saban and them being Alabama, or you got some other reasons behind it?
And I like they known for receivers,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I would be a great fit into their receiving group, and I feel like I can ball just like they can ball. I can see myself playing for Alabama.
I mean, you can't go wrong. Nick Saban's proven himself to be one of the GOATs, and I mean, there's no wrongdoing with Alabama and them. If you get an offer from Alabama, you know that you're absolutely killing it. So,
correct.
Man, Jeremiah, man, it has been great to talk with you today and check out your film, catch up with you, see how things are going with the season and what your goals are for the future. I hope to try and make it down there. I definitely want to see a game with you and Brandon. So far, y'all two on the same team now. Whew, that's a two-headed monster
scary.
Right there.
That's pretty scary.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So, once again, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing more from you on your individual game highlights and what else you can do throughout the season. And again, just one more time, thank you very much for joining me, man.
Yes, sir.